evening. We'll be starting about 10 minutes or so with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Great to have you with us tonight.
Yeah, it's good to have you. This is Jessica. KS7, USJ.
will be used for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society at the top of the hour. If anyone would like to use this repeater to make a quick contact at QSY or just to say hello, please do so. WW7ATS.
DOG, that was loud as heck. K7DOG.
K7DOG, this is Whiskey Up on 7 November.
Go forward there. That was, you have a very clear, loud signal.
Okay, well thank you very much, Rich.
It's not Rich, it's Marty, a friend of Rich.
Oops, call sign, handle, identifier mistake. Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, Rich is an old friend, to say the least. K7DOG.
Good evening, Puget Sound. My name is James, WW7N. I'll be net control tonight for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. This net meets on this repeater for the audio channel for about 1 hour starting at 8 p.m. Pacific time. That's the west coast of the United States on Wednesday and Saturday evenings. Anyone with an amateur radio license is welcome. You can either check in to say hello or join us for the entire net. Just let me know what you do so I don't skip you over. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio operators who take to the airwaves with fast scan, NTSC, analog video. You can find more information about us on the ever-helpful internet by searching on Western Washington Amateur Television Society. During this net, you can see the video we're talking about by looking at the WW7ATS website. Click on Streaming. There is sometimes a significant delay with that output. The video output can also be viewed directly on YouTube, but please understand we can't monitor and respond to all comments real time due to the delay. The video is also transmitted on 1.2 gigahertz on the east side here in Bellevue. Let's see, I see that Ron is checked in tonight. I heard Jessica earlier. Okay, let's see. Richard is here tonight. We've got Wade, W7ITL, Jim and 7QO, myself, WU7N, and let's go to the top of the list. Ron, KD7QKU, take it away.
Okay, well thank you very much, W7N James. This is KD7QKU Ron. I'm over in Tacoma, and where we had 3 or 4 inches of snow. We ventured out today for the first time. The streets were bare and wet. We needed cat food. The cat had run out of a dry prescription diet. She seems to like this dry food, so she was out, so we ran over to Lakewood and got some, and then stopped by the grocery store on the way home, and then Joanne decided she wanted to go to Costco. So we'd never been to Costco in Tacoma before, but we found Costco today. So we ran some errands. It was a beautiful day. Gee, this morning when I got up, the sky was clear, blue, and the moon was out. It was really, really pretty. The snow's been just beautiful over here. Alright, so back to net for now, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, this is Whiskey Uniform 7 November 1. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next on the list, KS7, Uniform Hero Code Kilo. Uniform Hotel Kilo, KS7UHK. Jessica, take it away.
KS7UHK, that's the University of Hard Knocks.
over here in Everett, where it's 24 degrees. We got out today, too, for the first time. Took our F10 four-wheel drive out. I had to go to the doctor and go get my blood pressure checked because it was kind of spiking up a little bit. So I went and did that. Got some another prescription for my meds, which I should be taking all the time. Otherwise, it's been kind of a quiet day. I've got this new keyboard here I've been playing with. It's so many things I still need to learn on it. But each day I try something out new that's in the book that says, to make this happen, push this button, turn this knob, and so you get something new on this Nord Wave 2 keyboard. It's very nice, 61 keys, and they all sound really nice. Some of my favorite sounds are choirs. I can make these sound like a room full of choirs, and so that's just it's haunting. It's really cool, and it's in stereo. Let's see, Sylvia's working on some of her pictures over here. She wants to someday print and sell, and I think she'll do a good job because she has a lot of nice pictures to work on. And so that's what we got going over here. So I'm going to pass it back to Jessica, KF7, UHK. KF7UHJ, this is James WW7N. Let me pause for a minute to also say that anybody can check into our net. We got the regular show tonight, but would anyone like to check in and say hello, or perhaps join us for the net tonight? If so, come now. Okay, nothing heard. Let's go down to Richard, K7ITX. You're up. Okay, well, thanks a lot, James, for running the show tonight. It's good to see everybody. So anyway, this weather is unique to say the least. But I think those of us who still work know what remote check-in is all about, remoting into the office. I think that's pretty much old school now, so in the old days, if it snowed like this, everybody would think, oh, good, we got a day off. Oh, not really. Not anymore. Not like the old days. So it's just like the kids at school, I remember when I was in school, you used to think the same thing. You'd see snow, I'd say, yes, day off. Well, I've heard that the teachers are, thinking about putting an end to that, now that they know that they can get the students around their finger, even when they're at home. So, anyway, I got one short little story about the snow. So, we have hummingbird feeders, and so Debbie has just been kind of like the Pied Piper of the hummingbirds, and they have just really looked forward to her coming out every morning right at the crack of dawn with fresh nectar in the hummingbird feeders. They've been in the house all day, all morning, all night, and so they're not anywhere close to being cold or frozen, and so I guess they just tweet up a storm when they see her. But sadly, with the sunny weather, we had a beautiful reflection on our front windows, and evidently when the blinds are wide open, the reflection is such that the hummingbirds think they can fly right through the glass, and they can't. And so we heard a big kind of whap. Debbie goes, oh no! And I'll be darned if a hummingbird didn't hit the glass, and she swears she could see it fall into the snow. I couldn't see it looking out the window, but anyway, she went out there with a dustpan in her hand, and I watched her and saw her do some scooping around, and evidently the bird was buried in the snow with its wings splayed completely wide open, but she kind of dug it out with the dustpan, and it took off and flew away like nothing in the world. So again, she is the Pied Piper of the hummingbirds right now around our house. So I was pretty happy to see her. I mean, It would have been me, and sadly, I might have let it die, in the snow, but not Debbie. She saved it. K7ATS, back to net control. Connected, N7KD. And an ITL. You just put up the screen. Wait, are you there? Oh, I'm here. I got myself over on my RF signal now, so I want to show a couple of videos and pictures. Can you see that, everybody? I can see you on both channels. All right. Well, so we had some snow over here in Tacoma the last couple of days. So a couple of days ago, I took my son over to the park, the Salt Park, which is right over by Ron's house, and we went down the big slope they have there in the park. So I'm just going to wait for the repeater to show the image. Oh, there's my son there. We got his sled. Let's see. I'm losing connectivity to my setup here, so I'll just make it a little short because it looks like RF is interfering with my internet connection. So yeah, there's good stories tonight. I guess that I like Richard's comment about remote check-ins are the norm, and schools are just not going to be able to, they're not going to let kids get away with that stuff anymore. So it's good to know. We'll talk about more about the stuff in the next round. All right, this is W7ATS, back to net. Well, thank you, Ray. That was W7ITL. Let's go to Jim, N7QO. What's going on out at the airfield? N7QO, thank you, Jim. By the way, Lee showed up as well. Good to see everyone tonight. Let's see here. We've got, right now I've got 29 degrees here. We got initially about 5 inches of snow, and then we got another maybe 1.5 inches of snow on top of that. They're saying now that it is supposed to snow tonight. I was hoping Lee would show up because I heard something on the news. One fellow in Port Angeles reported that he had 11 inches of snow, and another fellow reported he had 16 inches of snow in the Port Angeles area. Holy cow. So I don't know. Let's see. Comments for Dick. Let me reset. Dick, birds flying into windows. Yeah, I've encountered that a few times as well. I don't know exactly what to do about that, if closing the blinds would make a difference, or if you need to put like some sort of light on in there to shine out through the window. But that was pretty courageous of Debbie to go out there and rescue that hummingbird. I don't know. I suppose it's better than leaving it for Mika, but I don't know. I might have done the latter if it were me, and there's snow on the ground out there. That's just my thought. Anyway, good to see everyone. WU7N and 7QO. And 7QO, this is Whiskey Uniform 7 November. Thank you very much. And yes, Lee has also joined us. Let's pause for a minute. Does anyone else want to join the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, either for a check-in or to hang in here for the whole night? Come now. Okay, well, let's see. I did a weather experiment last night. I ran my house with my smallest, wimpiest tower heater on econo mode setting, and then I had some some other telemetrics going, and it turns out that my whole house was able to stay above freezing. And so that was a surprise to me, that I never got to freezing. There was one corner of one living room that was right at freezing. But all my pipes stayed above that, so that was kind of good to know. I did not, I've got another tower heater that I've never used before. I nicknamed it Chernobyl. And I measured the current draw on it. When it's on full power, it's 11.6 amps. And I think I can hear the electric meter on the house spinning so wildly the electric meter is probably getting ready to explode. But it really does put out the heat. It is really nice. Let's see, the other thing I was going to mention here is I stumbled into a Korean science fiction series, which I think is kind of funny, because Madden Tranquillitatis is Latin for the Sea of Tranquility, area of the moon. And you translate that into English, and that becomes the Sea of Tranquility. Now, I'm not sure what happened when you translate it into Korean, but then when you come to Korean, back into English, it becomes the Silent Sea. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and you can see that it's a Netflix production, but you can either see it dubbed or with subtitles. But for the budget they had to work with, very, very good production. So I'll point that out to anybody who's interested in science fiction. Let's see, I also discovered I do have a 20-amp circuit in my house. It's in my kitchen. I found that out when I accidentally had Chernobyl plugged into the same circuit as my microwave oven, and it held up for a full minute valiantly before it tripped. But then I had to go out in the cold and reset it, so won't do that again. Richard, got your center of gravity video you sent out. Thank you for sending that out. That was a sad accident. Wow, it just goes to show you can't fly with lead in the tail. That's probably a great parable of life somewhere in there. So anyway, Jessica, if you can make your keyboard sing, I guess that's something to sing about. That sounds pretty impressive. And hummingbirds, a thought occurs to me. I'm wondering if they're attacking the reflection in the window because they think it's another male hummingbird. Because the hummingbirds down in the neighbor's feeder, I sometimes said to go down to talk to her, the hummingbirds are very aggressive, and in sort of a funny sort of way, because I don't think they could ever hurt anything, but they buzz around, and they'll come at you, and the male hummingbirds of the one species is pretty aggressive, and I would imagine if they saw a reflection in the window, they would go right after that, because they would think it was another guy. Who knows? Okay, so anyway, let's, I'm going to go Ron, Jessica, and then take Lee off on my list, if that's okay with everybody. So let me take it back from the top. Ron, KD7QKU, take it away.
Okay, this is KD7QKU. Good evening to Lee. That's been pretty interesting. I live right, by the park where Wade was showing the pictures of sledding. So the people been over there. The first day, man, they were just sick over there. It's been nice. Kids are having a lot of fun. Man, it was cold, the wind was blowing. It was, 24, 25 degrees. But I guess when you're young, it's okay. Speaking of that, Joanne's niece and her husband and their kids all climbed in their Suburban, I guess it is, and they went up to Shuswap Lake. That's up above Kamloops. Taking them about 9 hours to drive from here up there. Right after Christmas on one of those cold, miserable days. And the family, they have 2 or 3 cabins up there. They own a cabin up there. And they'll be snowmobiling on the lake and everything. Having a great old time. But I guess when you're, 40 years old, it doesn't matter. I did crazy things when I was 42. But they go up there all the time. They have airplanes they can fly too, so there is an airport nearby. I'm glad they didn't try to fly in that weather. So what else? Oh, let me see. Let me let it drop. So, I listen to the people up on Lyman Hill in the morning, and it's a lot of fun. One guy's house, the water pipes froze up. Another guy's house, his furnace quit. Some guy tried to plow his driveway with the tractor, and the diesel was thick and it quit in the middle of the driveway. And there was another guy my age, and he has a 4-wheel drive pickup. He lives in Birch Bay, and he just decided he needed to go to town, so I guess he went to Bellingham, yeah. Sometimes I say Bremerton instead of Bellingham. And so his wife wanted to go too, so she went. He said, sure. So she said, well, we can have lunch while we're down there. So he said by the time they got to town, she had stopped talking to him. And he said the reason she had stopped talking to him is her throat was hoarse or sore from screaming and yelling. He said, I told her that your screaming and yelling isn't going to keep me from going into the ditch. And I remember I told him later that day when we were on DMR, I said, hey, I think your wife and my wife must be related. We're sisters. Because that's what happened with me. So I thought that was kind of fun. All right, back to that KD7QK.
Well, screaming and yelling never seems to help. I've noticed people always do it in those situations. So let's go next to Jessica, KF7UHK. Take it away.
I drive, so I don't have to do the screaming. So, a little electric car, a little electric leaf out here. I went and plugged in, but you're really not supposed to do the condo because it requires putting an extension cord across the sidewalk. But I charged it up for about 10 hours yesterday, and that took it from what we had 37 miles left on it to probably a lot more. I never really checked to see how much more I had, but I wanted to, if nothing else, it kind of warms the car up a little bit and helps melt off some of that ice, just in case I need to use electric car, because it's got nice front wheel drive, as opposed to the Ford F-150 that has four wheel drive. But that's only good if you got snow impact ice everywhere and not just spotty places like it's up here now. Snow days. Yeah, no, I remember snow days. And at Boeing, they don't tell you it's a snow day until like 2 weeks after the event, and then they'll look at the attendance and see who showed up and who didn't, and then they'll make the determination if that day that you took off 2 weeks ago is declared a snow day. If not, you have to take on a vacation or sick leave. So that was kind of the tricky thing. It could be just coming down and the state patrol saying don't come in, but it's not a snow day. You know, it's not, because some people can make it in, some people can't. So, yeah, I always enjoyed snow days. And lastly, cold, and once we were up, a couple years ago, we were up in Boston going up to New Hampshire to go to a wedding of my little sister's son, I think it was. And so we rented this little houseboat for a couple of days while we were in Boston. And this houseboat, it had a little heater that we plug into the wall, and that thing would trip the breaker about halfway through the night, and she'd wake up and the thing would be turned off, and you'd be stumbling out onto the dock to go flip the breaker back on in your bare feet and cold. And it was fun, but it was fun. It also listed a little bit. It had about a 2 degrees list on the thing, so you always felt like you're going downhill. But it was really enjoyable. Otherwise, we could see airplanes landing right in the main airstrip there in Boston, just off of Boston Harbor. So that was pretty cool. Otherwise, and then the last thing is you can always look on windy.com to see the weather. We'll talk about that later, maybe. KS7UHK.
Well, Jessica, about the time the breaker tripped and there was this low 2-degree list, I would be getting really concerned. Well, also joining us tonight, Lee, N7KC from Port Angeles. So glad you could join us tonight, Lee. Why don't you go ahead and take the microphone?
Okay, testing. Okay. Well, Lee here, N7KC from Port Angeles. Thanks, James. And good evening to everybody else here on the internet. And you too, GM Mountain Covington. Well, I made a few notes here. The snow depth overall, the first snow we had was about 3 inches. And we thought that was probably it. And then, you know, we got another 9 or 10. It just dumped on us. And, you know, they didn't plow the roads for a couple of days after that. Now, we didn't have to go anyplace. And I do have the truck. And the truck, the battery had a tender on it. And I was if the temperature got much lower, I was gonna plug the block heater in. It's about a 900 watt heater that's in the block. You just plug it in on a regular 20 amp circuit. And so it's been days now. We've not gone anywhere, so we've not had to. But today we needed to get out. We had a couple of things that had to be mailed. They were timely. We had to get to the post office. And so got the truck out, and I was expecting the road to be in good shape. I knew that the side roads out where we were in town here were pretty treacherous. But by God, I was surprised to find out that even 101 was compact snow and ice, and quite a mess down there. People were traveling pretty carefully. I will hand it to them. They're leaving lots of space between the vehicles, and everybody was pretty careful. I only saw one guy messing around in a parking lot where he was deliberately losing traction and just mucking around. But other than that, pretty good. Hummingbirds, bird incidents. Bird incidents with glass windows. I know a lot about that. We've had a fair amount out here. We have a large sunroom, all glass, and so we've had some problems there. And we've got a couple of other glass windows in the house. And every time we have a bird strike, I go out and take a look at the pattern on the glass, if the bird didn't make it, where it landed, and how it got there, and without exception. Oh, I'm out of time. I gotta finish this. Stand by here till I reset. I don't know if that did it or not. But without exception, the bird fly into the glass obliquely. And when I look at where they came from and what they're seeing a mirror of blue sky and open sky and maybe puffy clouds and whatnot. They have no idea they're flying into a window. It looks like clear space to them. And that's now the case of the hummingbird. They're duking it out with another one that's challenging it or something like that. I don't know how to answer that. I can't. But I do know that the others never fly directly into the window. It's not that they see something in the window that they think they can fly through rather than the outside. I also look going on inside the house, whether it's light or dark or whatever it is. You can't see that when the window looks like a mirror. Anyway, so I think that's the problem. And in the cases where we had a flagrant problem like that, I think that basically putting something up on the outside that destroys that mirror image that they might see, and then everything seems to be fine. Our Hummers. It got down to 15 here, and so I even was changing the 4-watt bulbs to 15-watt bulbs, and whatnot. I could not stop them from freezing. We have a flat pancake pipe with the cone heaters underneath. And so finally at midnight, Paul and I were pulling heaters in and insulating the bottom that's outside around the heater. Because the heater, even with a 15-watt bulb, could not in the wind over here keep it from freezing. So once we did that, we solved the problem. Everything's fine. Now when it warms up, I'm going to have to get back to 4-watt heaters because the next will be too warm. Yeah, okay, we got the truck off. That only went well today. It was kind of interesting to, we kind of know the route where you don't have to go down any really steep hills to get in and out of town. So we did that. It was good. It was nice to get out. We've been stuck here for another day. I'm down to 10 seconds now, so thanks a lot for a nice chat. I'll pass it back to James, and next time I got to talk about the ISS and the post-fan stuff. Anyway, N7KC, and Andrew.
N7KC up in Port Angeles, Louis. This is WW7N, net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. They're pause all the time and ask if anybody out there would like to check in and out or join our net for the WW7ATS. And so come now.
KJ7, Yankee Mike with an IO, audio only.
KJ7, Yankee Mike, good evening. Name here is James. What is your name?
Name is Caleb.
Yankee Mike. Okay, thank you for saying hello on our net tonight. You're welcome to join us anytime. We meet 8 p.m. Wednesday and Saturday. So thank you very much for that in and out. So let's go on to the next individual here on my list, which, let's see, that would be Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, well, Lee, thanks for the advice on the window situation and the birds. I thought that's probably what was going on. And the only time I recall bird strikes, even when Debbie wasn't around, it's always been a real bright, sunny day. And we do, when it is like that, we have just a gorgeous reflection off our southern exposure to the point where if you're on the outside, it truly does look like a mirror. And we've got some pretty weird pictures of Mount Rainier in the middle of our front bay window, just from that reason. The reflection is so brilliant. So I'm pretty sure, and then I remember being walking the campus at WSU in Pullman and seeing cartoon-like hawks on the sky bridge between some of the buildings. And I asked them, well, what's that for? Well, that's to keep the birds from flying into the glass. And I guess that's probably why I have an owl sitting on the ground outside the backyard to scare the birds away, so that nature can't get them. So anyway, I do have something to show. I have show and tell. So what I got here, it's called. Maybe it would help if I had to turn the right side up so you can at least read it says snow tracks. And these will fit on the bottom of your shoes. And they have, kind of like a car would have studded tires, so to speak. So you'll get on the YouTube video here too as well. Kind of hard to see the studs. If I get at the right angle, maybe you kind of shimmer a little bit. But anyway, they'll work great, by the way. If you got these on your shoes, you will not slip and fall. I guarantee you. They just are fantastic. I had them on at the grocery store yesterday, and nice friendly old guy, kind of like me. Except he looked like someone that I see at church, which I don't go to church that much. So he asked me, he goes, "Wow, sir, could you tell me? It sounds like you have studded tires on your shoes." And I kind of laughed a little bit, and I told him, "No, they're just these snow tracks that will buckle onto your shoes, so to speak." And so I turned and I kind of lifted a foot so you could see the bottom of my foot. And so after I did that, I turned around to see his expression. He had the biggest smile, and all he could say was, "Winner, winner, chicken dinner." And I thought, wow, that's the funniest thing I ever heard of. And that was the end of that. So anyway, I do recommend snow tracks. It's better than falling, and they're perfect for right now when you got that slushy, icy business, especially in the grocery store parking lots, or your own driveway, or your sidewalks. So there you go. K7ITX, back to net control.
Thank you, Richard. K7ITX. This is net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, WW7N. Let's move next to Wade, W7ITL.
Well, this is W7ITL. Hey, what great stories tonight about the snow and ice and birds and how to prevent birds from striking your windows.
I didn't catch the trick that commercial properties use to keep birds from striking the windows. Was it like those little pictures that they always put over the windows that are see through one direction but not from the outside? Or maybe I didn't hear that quite. But let's see, block heater with lead. I don't know what those are. I'll have to explain that. And then sounds like everybody's being very cautious on the freeways. 101 was pretty bad. Let's see. And Richard, it sounds like you got a project ahead of you to maybe fix your southern exposure windows so the birds won't strike your windows. Let's see. And it sounds like, Jessica, you have some, you were able to charge your electric car at the condo. That's good. I don't have one of those yet. Let's see. I think maybe I'm going to break for a second, and then I'm going to do maybe a few more show and tell pictures. I just have to switch my inputs on my video. All right, I'll show you that in just a second. It's not cooperating with me, so we'll show them off later. So with what I said, we'll turn the net back, and this is W7ITL back to net. W7ITL, this is net control W7. Well, we'll catch those pictures next time. We definitely want to see them. Thank you for your persistence. And let's see, next on the list, Jim, N7QO. Take it away, Jim. N7QO. Uh-oh. Hang on. Okay, let's try it again. Thank you, Jim. Well, let's see. Winner chicken dinner. I have something similar to that, that fit onto your shoes. It has more of a solid bottom, but I don't think I really want to wear those inside. I don't know, I think it might make it a little bit slippery walking inside, even though it would make it less slippery walking outside. But it would be a kind of a pain putting them on and off and then carrying them around sometimes. But novel idea, and if it keeps you from getting hurt, yeah, that sounds great. Let's see. Space heaters. I have a space heater. It looks kind of like an old-fashioned radiator, and what it does, it heats pretty well. I use it in the shack, but if I use it on the highest setting, it makes the outlet and the plug on the heater very hot in not too much time. I don't have an AC ammeter that goes beyond 10 amps, or I should say I don't have a shunt for my 10 amp AC ammeter, so I can't say how much it's actually pulling, but it's not popping any breakers. I use it at a reduced temperature setting, and if I heat the place up with the sun, pretty warm. Good job. Reset. Does a pretty good job at that. Let's see, what else can I mention? Oh, yeah, I live on a hill over here. We did not have any mail today or yesterday or Monday, and the trash people were supposed to come by today, but they said that they're not going to bother coming this week, so I guess that just goes with the weather that we've got now. Kind of interesting. Before I moved to the Seattle area, I asked one of my neighbors here how often does it snow, and he said, well, the last time
I remember it snowing here was 8 years ago. So I thought, I can handle that. But today is a little bit extreme. Oh well, and then it's supposed to snow some more tonight. So in the morning, I'll see what we've got. Interesting. Well, I do have some neighbors that are walking around and enjoying it, and in particular a couple of dogs that seem to really be having fun. Would be nice if I had a few go frolicking in the snow again myself. WW7N and 7QO.
Hey, 7QO, Jim in Houghton, Covington. Thank you very much. This is James, WU7N. Well, let's see. Travel today. Well, I've got reports that the roads around Bellevue are actually in reasonably good shape. They, for some odd reason, have really stepped up to plowing and salting and sanding. However, I have the long east slope hill of death right out where my neighborhood starts. And I had one neighbor who got out before the snow and they're somewhere else and they have some options to return. So I said I would go out and look mid-morning to see what that hill looked like. Because I also had some things I wanted to get out and do myself. And I almost slipped and fell, so I wish I'd had Richard's snow tracks on. Just walking down to the hill to take a picture of the hill, to text her to say this would be very Oops, did I cut off my audio drop in the middle of that? Okay, well, don't know why, but... Okay, well, let me try again here. I said I almost fell going down to the hill just to take a picture of it and text it to her to say, it's, your car, but there's a lot of things to hit on the way down that hill. So I think she just decided to wait until we have a break in the weather, which our federal government is currently scheduling warmer temperatures for this weekend, so all you have to do is hang on until then. Let's see, the other interesting report I got, I'd forgotten about this. When you have this bitterly cold weather and people are trying to drive around, a friend of mine was driving a vehicle around unincorporated King County where they haven't really got the roads really under control. And the problem is, when they do have a little sand, a little salt, and a lot of churned up snow, big chunks of snow get stuck under the vehicles, and then they come loose. And since it's 20 degrees, whatever out there, when these things fall off, it's like a little rock in the middle of the road. And so people who don't know about this hazard are trying to go faster, and they hit this big chunk of snow, and it's hard enough, and some of it big enough, especially if they come off a truck, it can do damage. So I seem to vaguely remember that back in North Texas when we had some snowstorms, but I haven't experienced that in a long time, so that brought back some memories. Anyway, let's see, the other interesting thing that I was going to mention, Jim, your core's getting hot. Well, the first thing I always check is the outlet. Is the outlet loose? Can you be getting point contact resistance in there that's heating that plug up? I've got a 110-volt outlet in my downstairs bathroom, and this is how projects go in my house. The new outlet that's going to replace the old one that's worn out has been sitting there for, I don't know what, let's just say 2 weeks to protect the guilty here on the procrastination scale. Because the one on the top is so loose, you can't plug anything into it anymore because it's loose, and you'll get that point contact resistance heating problem with any significant current draw at all. So anyway, maybe next time you could comment on that. So anyway, this is James, WU7N. Let's see, we're about a little bit before 15 minutes before we wrap up, so I'm going to call one more time for anybody who wants to check in, say hello, say hi to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, or you can join the Net. If so, come out.
Good evening, James in the net. WW7ATS.
WW7BJI, thank you very much for saying hello. What's going on?
Not a whole lot, just listening in on the net, a nice net tonight. Sounds like you got some pretty good topics and cold weather tips and so on. That's like net 7-3 to everybody. Back to net, KF7BJI.
WW7BJI, Rich, thank you so much. We really appreciate the use of the repeater for our audio channels. Let's take it back to the top. Ron, KB7QKU.
KD7QKU. Well, I don't know if anybody was watching the Alamo Bowl tonight, but Oregon was playing Oklahoma. In the first half, it didn't look like Oregon showed up. It was 30-3. Oh, it was pretty disgusting, really. I always hate it when the West Coast teams play in those games. I would love for the West Coast teams. They don't have to win, but make it close for Pete's sake. So they disrespect us back there on the East Coast anyway. They think we're out here, we're no good anyway. And they're right, I guess. So anyway, it always burns me up. So let's see what happened. Oh, I had a couple of phone calls from a illustrious friend who's down basking in the sunshine. He told me today that it rained the last 2 days, I think, about an inch. So it was rainy down there. But I think other than that, everything's going fine. He was a little bit worried about maybe when he was coming home, but I told him by the time he comes home, I think they'll have all these flights, that have been canceled all straightened out, and he won't have any trouble. He flew straight through. He didn't take any transfers or anything. He bought a good ticket, so he flew straight through. So anyway, I think he's worried about COVID. And it's really been the highest it's ever been in the country, the cases and everything. I think probably a good reason to worry. We sure been staying home, I know that. So let's see, I guess I don't have much more. It's fun listening to everybody else, so I could tell more stories about these other people, but I guess I shouldn't. Alright, so back to that KD7QKU.
7QKU, Ron, thank you very much for that. Well, why not tell stories? We always tell stories about you when you're not here, so, well, anyway, next up, Jessica, KS7UHJ, take it away.
Yeah, I think those people on the East Coast think that us out in the West Coast all wear plaid and live in the forest. So, let's see. North Texas has snow. I was baffled when I heard that. I didn't know they ever got that cold, but I guess they do. Let's see. And snow, I always say to people, I think we get snow about every 3 years we get something. And we're getting enough here to go for the next several of those years. We don't need any more of this. It's pretty, it's wonderful, but it gets to be a pain if you need to get out and do something. Yak tracks. That's what we have for our shoes. They're kind of a rubber thing that fits on around your shoe, and it has like unbent springs on the bottom of it that crisscross, and they work really well. But when you get on a tile floor, they are just treacherous. So when we go to Fred Meyer's, we have to take them off, sit down, take them off, and then go shopping, and then put them on before we go leave again, because otherwise, they're just a killer. We have granite tile floors in our condo here in the kitchen, and it's like walking on ice. It totally is. Let's see, and the last thing is, I'm staying up New Year's Eve to make sure that 2021 is gone. So that's my plan for this weekend. KS7UHJ.
KS7UHJ, Jessica, thank you. This is WW7N. Next up, Lee, N7KC. Take it away.
Okay, I'm on. I have a little delay here until the button lights up where I can tap it. Otherwise it's straight out. Listen, this business of developing in receptacles and outlets, as I know a fair amount about that, that's why I have an infrared thermometer. And I routinely check circuit breakers and anything that's got any current at all, make sure that things aren't getting out of whack. It turns out it's not the prongs that are the problem, it's the receptacle. And the prongs go in between two pieces of copper that are beryllium spring copper. And the idea here is that they're supposed to grab that prong so that the resistance is in the milliohm range. Very, very, very low, so there's no dissipation there. I squared R losses are supposed to be near zero in those. And if you're starting to see any heating in that, like in the plug and so forth, then you've got to immediately do something about it, because it turns out the problem is exacerbated by heat. Beryllium copper, as it gets warmer, even loses more of its strength. So the way you solve this problem is you build out new outlets and you install new outlets. You can't fix them. Okay, so when they're overheated, while the spring unit of the copper has gone away, you can't fix it. It becomes almost dead soft, and then you have a real potential fire problem. Either have somebody come in and replace it for you. I have to do it in this house here. The old, you put a plug in, you can wiggle it around. I mean, it was terrible. So I basically just changed it off. And now they're beautiful. But then I have the influence monitor, and I keep track of that sort of thing. And if you go to your breaker panel, like in the wintertime, you see that electric heat. What you're looking for is a relative difference between breakers. You know, it's not an absolute temperature thing. It's just simply go down the row and you just check each one, and when you find one that's longer than the others, find out why. You know, make a case for it, and so forth. So anyway, Jim, get rid of those things. It's as dangerous as different. Inside of KC, we're in Port Angeles. Back to you, Jim. Okay.
KL7DG disconnected.
KL7DG, looks like we got a disconnect, but I don't think we heard from you. Do you want to reconnect and try again? KL7DG, this is WW7ATS. From KL7DG. So let's go next on the list, Richard, K7ITX.
Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty funny about East Coast people that think we all wear plaid, but I will say, Jessica, your plaid is looking pretty nice tonight, so, well, and you for that matter, and Ron. So maybe, you know, I mean, it's 50-50 tonight in plaid, so maybe there is something to that, is there, Jessica? How funny. Yeah, football, I haven't paid too much to the bowl games, Ron, but I would like to mention, and Wade remind me of the passing of John Madden. He was quite the icon, way long before the Seahawks were ever even thought of or invented around here. John Madden, to me, he's almost synonymous with the Oakland Raiders. You know, Oakland Raiders, that was our team when I was growing up as a little kid. You know, guys like George Blanda, it's like a one-man team back in those days where he would be a quarterback, he'd throw, you know, they'd be behind. He was just like, kind of like Russell Wilson. Blanda and the Raiders would be behind the 8-ball with just a minute to go, and by golly, somehow Blanda would thread the needle and score a touchdown, and then next thing you know, he's doing the quarterback sneak to get the two-point conversion, and then he would kick an onside kick and recover his own kick. And I don't know, he was like a one-man team. He was just phenomenal. I can't remember where Madden was, if he was even the coach at that time. Maybe not. But boy, after that, Madden did take over, and then you had the likes of the Kenny Stabler and LaMonica and all those guys. Oh yeah, God dang, John Madden. Oh my goodness, very fond memories. K7ITX back to net control.
Well, Richard, thank you for that memorial statement there. This is James WW7ATS. Let's go on to the next on the list, Ray W7ITL.
All right, well, lots of good recommendations tonight, and sharing about John Madden tonight, and you know, I have fond memories of him growing up. He wasn't a big influence on me, but I remember lots of video games that he sponsored, and there was a whole series for many years that he had his name on it. So I'm not a big football buff, but he was definitely made an impression on me as a young kid. And I
didn't know anything about the Seahawks and the Raiders scenario where the Raiders were the team before the Seahawks from the Northwest. And snow tracks and yak tracks, wow, I'm going to have to look into those. So don't slip and slide out in the snow and ice, which apparently is going to be hanging around here until at least the weekend. The snow and ice buildup under cars. I haven't seen that yet here in Tacoma, but I haven't been on the road that much. But the last 2 times I've gone out this last couple of days, it's been pretty good for my car. Haven't had any slipping, sliding incidents. Just lucky, I guess. With that said, actually, I think I said in my last call I was going to try to do some show and tell here. So let me move that over and just show you some more pictures. Let's break for a second. Can everybody see those pictures? Looks like I'm showing it on the repeater. So yeah, as you can see, Tacoma is white, and it is still white out there. Lots of snow. I don't like it when it melts, so I want it to stick around a little bit longer. So that's just me. I like snow. Let's see, lots of snow here. See if I can show a video. There's my phone again. Here we go. We'll show the video. And that'll be the end. The repeater timed out, so I can't see my video. Here he goes. He's going down the hill over here at the Salt Park by my house. There he goes. Well, that's that, and I will turn that back to James. So this is W7ATS. Back to Matt.
Well, thank you very much, W7ATS. This is WW7N. I did see the repeater for some reason went off and then went on again. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that tonight. Maybe it's just cold. Well, one memorial statement I need to make is Senator Harry Reid passed away. And he is got a special place in my heart because we have all forgotten about this, but he took on the mob in Arizona and as the head of the gaming commission there. And with that whole, that was at the beginning of the time of that movement to get the mob under control. It really was ridiculous. There were all kinds of huge profits being made in Arizona at the time, and yet nothing was ever getting to any public coffers. It was all getting skimmed, and all sorts of tax evasions and other schemes and games. And his entire family survived an assassination attempt. That's gutsy. So I'd like to salute him tonight, because he's an amazing man. I don't know if I mentioned it. Thank you very much for the pictures and the video. That's great. And I can see we're coming up to the top of the hour here, so it's got 4 minutes left. Let me call for anyone who would like to check in, say hello to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society before we go back down to the top. Anybody like to just say hi? Come now. Is there anybody on the Echo Link or any digital mode maybe need a greater pause? If so, come now. We got a few minutes left, so let's go back up to the top. Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, this is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, that park, is right across the street from where I live. But I'm at the far end of the park, and so the picture here is west of me, probably, I don't know, a brisk walk up to the next street, and then left. What it's called, Narrows Drive, I believe. So you go up, I'm on 37, so you go up to the end of the stop sign, turn left on Narrows Drive, and then that park would be on their left-hand side. So I'm not a quarter of a mile, but I don't know how far. But it's a big park, it's nice, a lot of people use it. There's a lot of people up there sledding. Yeah, I like the snow. It's 27 degrees here last time I looked. We don't have to go anyplace or do anything, and the grocery store is closed. Cars, Jeep Cherokee and the pickup, 4-wheel drive, so we don't have any problem. So I like it. But anyway, I feel sorry for the people at work. All right. And we're gonna talk about the meeting after this, maybe. Don't. Anyway, Okay, I'm timed out, I guess. KD7QKU.
Yeah, we're rapidly coming up to the top of the hour, so let me ask Jim, N7QO, did you want to do business meeting on New Year's Day on Saturday or not?
I think it works for me. My wife hasn't said anything. We're not planning to go anywhere. I can say that. And I'll certainly be awake in the morning. So whatever all of you decide, I'm amenable to anything.
Okay, I'll ask everybody else in a minute or two. Let's see, we still have a minute left, so let's use every minute we can. Jessica, KF7UHK, would you like to wrap it up for us tonight?
Sure, I'll go totally off topic with beryllium, and that is when I was making circuit boards a long time ago, we had this one project for the Air Force where we had a beryllium encasing around a circuit board to help keep it cool, and they would run fluids through this. They wouldn't tell us what the fluid was. It was from the Air Force, and it went into the Black Hawk helicopters. So it was something that was a very fast thinking circuit that they were pushing to its limits, and we had to take special precautions because it was beryllium that we were cleaning up and attaching to these circuit boards, and it was kind of a neat project because everybody gets to see kind of things like that. So there you go. Inside the Black Hawk helicopter, there's beryllium in there. KF7UHK.